Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Another edition of Maximize Monday here. We appreciate everyone taking some time out of their Monday, start of the week to check out what's going on with us. So, new guest again this week. As you can see, I'm joined by Samantha. She is going to jump on with me here this week to talk about her current job search and what she's looking for out of her next employer, what's motivating her, what she looks for from a company. So going to talk to her here in a minute. As you all know from watching the show, the format, what we talk about on a week-to-week basis. So things that are motivating me. So this week we are really in the countdown to Disney phase. This week will be in single digits from the trip. So I finally have been dragging my feet on a lot of stuff. We finally made a car reservation, confirmed all this stuff. So it's done. We're going. No turning back now. So looking forward to that. We did get my daughter to a local theme park just to see how she does with rides, and she enjoyed them, which is great because that means we won't be spending the entire trip in the hotel or just meeting Disney characters. So that's one thing. As you know from watching the show, I talk about wrestling a lot. So this coming weekend is SummerSlam. So big event for me. I do have a wrestling podcast. My friends and I get together for the bigger shows. So I'm going to see them this weekend. We do this a few times a year. So always something to look forward to. And then at the beginning of the year, I set an ambitious goal of reading a book a week. I did it last year, and this year I have been slacking on that. So one of the things motivating me is that I've been finally diving back into reading books and getting more of that passion for reading back. So I'm trying to get as many as I can here for that. Goals for the week ahead, as always, just want to create more activity here on LinkedIn. So just being as active as I can. I'm trying to source for candidates and get these positions that we have open filled at our different plants kind of scattered throughout the country. And another goal last week, I was able to visit one of our plants. So I'm putting that on my list of to do by the end of the year at least. So starting to coordinate visiting another one of the Novalex plants by the end of the year. Then my win from the week before, I was able to fill 2 more positions. So just continue to churn ahead on that and making sure that we are following up with everyone and getting people in place for the right position. So that's it for me. Samantha, what do you have going on this week?
Well, I am getting ready to harvest some tomatoes from my garden, which is super big for me. I know it's not doesn't seem very cool, but this is my first ever garden.
Okay.
So we've got corn and tomatoes, and I go out every morning just to look at it because that's so cool to me that I grew things,
Yeah.
I'm a farmer. I grew this thing. And every Wednesday for me is date night for my husband and I, because I'm still I'm doing college online, and I am still doing some freelance stuff, and I still work out 4 or 5 times a week. So Wednesday is my one night that I do nothing and I just watch shows with him. So we're still working our way through Ghosts on Paramount Plus. I love that show. It's hilarious. And putting plans together for our backyard. My husband just built this house. He actually put it together in record-breaking time because as you know, I don't know how it was out there, but here in Wyoming, we live in the middle of nowhere. So there's not a lot of houses anyways. And then of course, when that big housing market boom happened, everybody was coming out of state and buying all the houses, we couldn't buy a house. And we had to move out of the one that we were in. So my husband built this house in 7 weeks time, which was pretty incredible. But now we're working on front yard, backyard stuff. So putting plans together to do that, I'm pretty excited about that. As far as goals, I am trying to connect more with people on LinkedIn. I have really, especially working on social media for the last, 6 or 7 years, I've actually taken a step back as far as Instagram and Facebook and really put more effort into LinkedIn, trying to further my career and kind of make those connections. So my goal is really to make more connections. And of course, there's, actionable steps to that, but broad goal, make more connections. And honestly, I need to be better about getting my to-do list done. I made a joke to my husband a few days ago that I don't know who lied to him, but I am a terrible housewife. You know, that is not my forte. So trying to get more things done, especially taking a step back from coaching and everything and looking into a new position, I'm not as busy as I was. So I should be able to get more housework done, and I just don't want to. So working on that this week.
Yeah.
Last week I had something really cool. I had a really great opportunity to interview with a company that I was really interested in. They said that they loved my background and my resume. Unfortunately, they were only available in Dallas, and no remote positions, but I'm taking that as a win because they were still something that I really wanted to get into. They were still impressed with what they saw. So I'm taking that as my win.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So within this job search and the positions that you've been looking for, I know it says on your profile different fields that are of interest to you, but what would be the overlying goal, not just necessarily the field itself, but what are you looking for out of an employer or company that matches up with what you want your focus to be moving forward?
I have done a lot of different things over the years, and when I really sat down and looked at it from a broader perspective, it's marketing. I like to connect with people, and I like to bring people towards a solution. You know, no matter what I'm doing, that's really the focus of it. So I want to be able to do that, to work on something and be able to create, and then again work towards that solution. I kind of wanted that duo, which is why digital marketing is so really my main focus. But I want to be part of a family again, and I posted about that a few days ago. But to give a little bit more of a background, you know, I ran a restaurant for several years, and that my favorite thing about that was, you know, I was in charge of hiring. I created a team, and we had that bond, you know, we had that kind of family. And then to move on to freelance, it got very lonely.
Mhm.
So what I'm looking for more than anything is to feel comfortable and to feel like it's truly that kind of work family. And I know that sounds super cliche, but that's really what I'm going for.
Yeah, absolutely. So your next employer then, a question I always like to ask, and you kind of hinted at this already, so I'll just kind of pose this as the mock interview question. But when I'm interviewing anyone, I always just ask what they're looking for out of my company. You know, first 60, 90 days, what can they do for you? So your next employer, what would you want from them in those first 90 days to kind of get you set up for success moving forward?
I am a big believer in constructive criticism, but more than that, I actually watched a podcast a few days ago where the CEO had said something along the lines of, it's better to say something wrong or do something wrong than to not try at all.
Mhm.
And I firmly believe in that I want to feel like, you know, if I do something wrong, if I mess up, you know, it's okay, or I'm free to speak my mind and say what I believe in. And it's not going to be harsh or, you know, unwelcomed. You know, I want to be able to kind of explore that and be able to communicate. And if it makes me better, and if they have something to add to that, then I more than welcome that. I thrive on that kind of back and forth.
Okay, perfect. All right. So this is Samantha. Make sure you are following her, connecting with her on LinkedIn, help her build that network. If you're hiring for those types of positions that align with what she's looking for, make sure you're reaching out. We appreciate everyone taking some time to join us this Monday. Have a great week ahead, and we will talk to you soon.